Hey team! Okay, so I wanted to do another quick training video, just a little nugget that I wanted to give you guys. We're copycatters here in AdvoCare, so I got this from Lois, and they trained on it at AdvoU, and so now I just want to pass this information on to you and how helpful it has been for me in building my AdvoCare business. Very part-time, and still being able to pour into my family and my kids the way that I wanted to, but still be able to contribute financially to our family. So, when I first started AdvoCare, it was very overwhelming. There was so much going on. I was helping a lot of people quickly, and it was bleeding into every single minute of my day. And that, number one, it was just too much. And number two, I was going to get burnout very quickly. And so it took a lot of mentoring from my leaders to really help me get it under control. But here's some of the tips that I've learned. So number one is looking at productivity versus activity. Okay, so productivity are things that are getting you paid with AdvoCare. And basically all that is talking to people. So whether that's a one-on-one conversation, sharing Spark somewhere, plugging them in on a three-way phone call, that is productivity. Those are all actions that are going to get you paid. Now, activity are things that, doing a Facebook post, watching a training video. Yes, those are all great and wonderful, but they're not actually going to get you paid. What gets you paid is talking to people. And so we want to really differentiate that and how you're spending your time, how you're investing your time. Because if you're doing a lot of activity but very little productivity, then you're probably noticing that in your paycheck or in your volume as far as getting to advisor. Whatever you're looking for out of AdvoCare, you're probably noticing depending on how much time and effort you're putting in. And so I want you to really start taking an audit of how you're spending time. So the other thing I want to share with you is a little thing that we call color blocking our time. So I gave you a good mapping out your pay period training, and now I want to look at, since you have things to work on and you see that visually, then let's figure out when you can fit that into your schedule. And so first things first is to get a very great calendar. Find a system that works for you. So when I first started AdvoCare, I purchased this simplified planner, and it goes day by day, and you'll see my color blocking, which I'll describe in a minute. But then for 2016, I actually purchased a passion planner, which everyone raves about, and it is wonderful. It's as wonderful as they say. But it has month by month, lots of really great, chances to reflect and set goals. This is a really great one, and I've loved it so far. But one of the things that I've enjoyed here, so I have a monthly calendar so I can plan out my mixers and what my month is going to look like. But then also it breaks it up into week and then by day, and then it breaks it into every 30 minutes. So starting at 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., I have a 30-minute line there. So as I have phone calls, I go ahead and write those in because our three-way phone calls shouldn't last more than 30 minutes. That's the ultimate. 25 to 30 minutes is the perfect time for that. And so they fit perfectly on this schedule. And so you'll see here, so just a little what my calendar kind of looks like. So when I sit down to map out my pay period, I also map out my time, because AdvoCare was intended to be to build your fortune part-time. And so, you really want to, that's how it really adds up, is when you're spending, just a few hours weekly being consistent and doing those income producing activities, then that's how you see that the income really adds up as far as the time that you're spending, as long as you are intentional with your time. So speaking of being intentional, I want you to get a great calendar, something that works for you. Print something off if you don't want to go to the store and buy one. Order one from Passion Planner, or go to an office store. I'm sure you can find one that works for your schedule. So the other thing I would suggest is getting some colors, colored pencils, crayons, markers, whatever is good for you. But you're going to want a red, which symbolizes absolutely no AdvoCare. So maybe that's when you're at your job. Maybe that's when you're spending family time. You want to block that off. Set those boundaries, guys, and let this just be permission for you that I do it, so you can do it. It is perfectly okay to set boundaries on that precious time, because that's what AdvoCare is intended to be, is a business where you can do this on your time. So red for no AdvoCare. Now, we want to have a yellow because that is time where you could possibly do AdvoCare if your team needs you or you need to reach out to someone or follow up. And that's when that person's available. Then yellow is a possible time that you could do AdvoCare. Now, this green is the most important one, okay? So you're going to block off some green time, however much you think that you need. And this is intentional. This is game on AdvoCare. That means all the distractions are off. For me, that's usually in the evenings from 8 to 10. So I get my babies tucked in, make sure they're, somewhat fast asleep. And then I come downstairs, and from 8 to 10, it is game on. And here's the thing that I found. People make time for what's important to them. We truly do. And so, those reality TV shows that I was binge watching every evening just to escape reality, those weren't getting me paid, and those weren't moving me forward in life. Absolutely doing nothing for me other than just escaping reality, which is the fact that we're living paycheck to paycheck, or I couldn't go to the grocery store until payday. Those are realities. And that TV show wasn't reality. It was just a reality show of those people's lives, not my life. So I cut those out. The TV doesn't even come on anymore. If there is a show I want to watch, then I watch it while I'm folding laundry during red time. But green time is AdvoCare. And so, I just want to stress to you guys, finding that time that works for you. It might be on your lunch break. 1 hour on your lunch break, you can accomplish a whole lot. Or your 20-minute commute home. If you have a commute to work and a commute home, you can make a phone call both times, and that is some good income-producing activity. So, as you'll see, back to my calendar, most of my day is red, you guys, and I have been able to consistently make a full-time income doing this for 7 months now. So it is absolutely doable. It is remarkable to watch this unfold in your life. And set boundaries on precious time that's important to you. The yellow you'll see there, that's when I do calls for my team if they need it. But if not, then typically that's when I try to do some personal development. So, if I don't have a call, then I'll read a book, a leadership book, or do a training video, or just some things that are bettering me as me. And I even schedule my workouts. I have everything on here. This is life to me. But I love also that it has to-do list. And so it has, top priority, and then errands to run. Even down here, it has it broken up into personal and work. So it's just really all about getting organized and really taking a good audit of where you're using your time and being intentional with this. I said it in my other video, if you treat this like a business, it is going to pay you like a business. But we want to make sure that you're doing activity, or not doing activities, you're doing productivity with AdvoCare and really, really helping yourself move forward. So I hope this helps a little bit in showing how I've kind of managed my time and managed my days and made it all count and make it add up to something great. So I'm proud of you guys. If you have any questions or want any help with this, I'll be happy to. But I just want you to be encouraged and to know that this is completely doable, very part-time, and you can fit it into your life, and it will move you forward if that's your heart's desire. So, okay, I love you guys, and happy Tuesday.